So in terms of my own personal superpower, I feel that I have a couple. I don't just have one. And I think those kind of couple skill sets or superpowers, one in particular, is creativity. Um, I very much am more arts and humanities than I am science, although I'm still pretty strong there as well. So it's always, again, approaching life or business or personal with the problem solution framework and always being able to come up with a really creative way to fix it. There's different ways to solve a problem, right? And the second that I've been told actually is I'm a pretty supreme networker. So if I wanted to meet somebody, I was intentionally wanting to meet Mark Cuban. I intentionally wanted to meet Richard Branson. And I figured basically my nodes or people that I knew in terms of how to get to them, or if it was a competition, or if it was, through a particular event. I use LinkedIn very well. I use Angels List. Facebook's also a great networking platform. And then just basically embodying yourself in your local community and the events, and obviously charities like Hack Cancer, for instance, that I'm pretty involved in, gives you great opportunities to meet great people that are very high functioning. And so having said that, networking and being creative, those two together combined have enabled me to become, I think, the entrepreneur that I am today. I'm pretty good with coming up with the idea. So that's a creativity portion. But secondarily, the networking portion has enabled me to build stellar kick-ass teams. So I've built, great teams from, previous startups, and then even especially what I'm most proud about is Breathometer. I built a team that literally specializes in breath analysis. And so that's why, hence we, in a very short period of time, 2 years, we've kicked a lot of ass. And so I think the most successful companies in the world, they're not built by one person, they're built by a team. So networking for me has literally been probably one of my, I would say, rewarding talents, superpowers, what have you. So it's primarily those two. A daily ritual that I do that I believe I derive a majority of my success from is kind of a priority / list approach. Basically, as soon as I wake up in the morning, I think about basically the top 3 things that I feel that are high impact. So whether it's business or personal, for instance, I'm writing a book, right? And I think when I wake up, what can I do today that can incrementally, from a high impact standpoint, move the needle for the book? So is it calling an agent? Is it nailing out a couple chapters? Is it talking to a few publishers for the distribution of it? But I'm a big proponent of high impact, moving the needle, action items, if you will. So as soon as I wake up, I put a list together. I bifurcate into two things, personal and business. And in my Google Apps, I actually have a taskbar that is personal and business. And for my personal, I nail down the top 3 things that I want to do that will move the needle for particular goals that day, and then likewise with business. And I won't leave the office, and I won't go to sleep when I get home until those items have been basically at least touched upon or achieved. So I'm a very list-driven, goal-oriented person, and I feel the most successful people in life are very organized, or they have people that enable them to be more organized. So it's, again, very high impact, move the needle type list, and it's a very tactical, methodical approach. If I could have it my way, I guess the ideal way to be remembered is by leaving a legacy. And in a sense, I feel that it's possible actually to do it with this current company I'm running, and I founded Breathometer. It started off initially as now called Smartphone Breathalyzer Company. Now what we are is a true breath analysis platform, connecting the cloud with hardware and also mobile applications. We can basically detect the gamut, which ranges from alcohol to fat burning to asthma to diabetes, and now actually ultimately lung cancer. So if I can actually screen just by the sense of your breath and detect early signs of lung cancer for a smoker, for instance, right? And it could be the difference between a stage 1 and stage 4, where stage 1 essentially remedies are a lot more applicable, right, and higher impact. I could save your life. So if I could roll out the platform that is Breathometer throughout the entire world, I believe it's a type of innovation whereby it could literally stay for a long time and create a paradigm that decades, centuries out it could leave a mark in the world. So that's the last thing I want to do before I die. I want to leave a legacy from a very entrepreneurial standpoint, inspiring the younger generation, kind of doing basically what my heroes, my icons, my superheroes have done, respective to me. So inspiring the ones that need to be inspired, and never taking no for an answer, but always kind of continuing to plow forward, power forward, and just believe in yourself and try to figure out what your purpose, your calling is in life. And I think through that process, you can end up becoming a superhero.